Wow, here we are again, folks. As of the last hour and a half, I have opened up 3 different expositor Bibles. And in those 3 expositor Bibles, reading Psalm 14, which is 7 verses. I didn't count the words, but they're very few. Bring you to a place to where to do 2 or 3 hours of study on these 7 verses would bring you to do 7 more hours. If you read the Bible in the light that it's written, yes, it was written in the past, but it was also written as the present, and it's also written for the future. The Bible is about a people called Israelites. They were the Jewish people. They were the chosen people of God and still are and will be all the way to the end of the 1,000-year reign. When Jesus comes in the clouds and says, "Come up hither," and takes away the saints, Jew and Gentile alike. If you're a saint, if you're a Jewish saint, and you've asked Jesus to forgive you of your sin, come in your heart and save your soul, you will go to heaven in that period of time when Jesus says, "Come up hither." Whether you're a Jew or a Gentile, if you have never said, "Jesus, forgive me of my sin, come in my heart and save my soul," you will not go to heaven when Jesus says, "Come up hither." You'll be left on this earth. Some will perish in the battle of Armageddon. And those that perish during that period of time, their abode will be hell forever, and they'll be in the abyss of the heart of the earth forever in hell. So, we as Gentiles have been grafted in because of the rejection of Jesus Christ by the Jews. The Jewish folks, the Israelites, who put Jesus on the cross. Now all of the Israelites bear that burden that was given to them by their ancestors when they put Christ on the cross. And the only way that they can change that is to get to the place to where they say, "Jesus, I realize that we were in error in that day, and that you are the Messiah, and that you have come, and that you were the one that rent the veil. When you left the cross, you rent the veil and did away with the old sacrifice. Therefore, the only thing we have left is what you left us and gave us, which is that we worship you and you only, and through the Spirit now, and not by works of sacrificing animals or such, but by our heart saying, "Jesus, we believe that you were the Son of God, that you did come to save the world, and you delivered us from the sin that not only the Gentiles have, but the Jews alike, all peoples of the earth, no matter of race or genitalia. We are children of God in the sense that He has designed all of us from Adam down through. Now, He did choose a race that He was interested in, and they rejected Him, called the Jewish race. And they've rejected Him. And because of that, He has said to them, "I'm going to put you on the shelf." Now, you can get off the shelf yourself if you care to. If you happen to be a Jewish Orient, you can get off the shelf. And the Bible said, "The fool has said in his heart, there is no God." They are corrupt. they have done abominable works, and there is none who does good. This is Psalm 14. David writing this. A man supposedly after God's own heart, yet at times played the fool. The fool, which was the Antichrist, that's the devil himself, is the fool. And he will bring foolishness into the heart of man if man will allow him to, along with all who will follow him. Despite all their problems, to do good. In that way, they wanted to do good. They promised to do good. I myself have said, God, if you'll deliver me from this foolish act where I am today, I promise you I will do better. I'll go right. Only to find a month or two down the road, I'm back in the same place. What happened? What happened is I fell off the wagon. If you ride too close to the back of the wagon without a strap on, and you go over the right bump, the wagon's going to drive up from underneath you, and you're going to be sitting on the ground. And I had that happen to me when I was younger. And I remember horse and buggy days. I'm 77. I remember my daddy having a team of horses and a buggy. And we lived up north. I remember the sleigh, having a sleigh. And you ride in the sleigh. And the horses pull it. My daddy going to work. My mama getting up in the morning at daylight. My daddy working at night and taking the sleigh and hook it up and go get my dad over the mountain, over the top of the mountain and down the hill. Almost like the song. And I remember those days. And so, despite all of their problems to do good, they will do no good at all, only great harm. We're the same way. We are no different as human beings than the Israelite children were. We are programmed by the devil when we're born. We are born in that heathenry, and the only way out of it is through the grace of God. But to be able to follow God is another whole matter. We must yield to what God says to do. And so, in spite of it, in verse 2 of chapter 14 in the Psalms, the Lord looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any who did understand and seek God. You'll have to forgive me for this here flu type thing that I've had now for a month or so, and I can't seem to shake it at all. But during the great tribulation that will come, due to the fact that the church has been raptured away. Now, who is the church? The church are all of the people, Jew and Gentile alike. That's anybody who's not a Jew is a Gentile. So Jew and Gentile alike, because the Jews are the chosen people of God. But they have said, no God for me. They've rejected the God of heaven by following the laws of Moses, which were good during their time. But God ended their time when Jesus came. And Jesus was born on this earth as a Jew, by the way, and the first Jew of freedom from the law. And he's the one that passed it on. And if you please, he's the one that has said, if you believe in me, that ends your Judaism. You are no longer considered a Jew. You still have Jewish rights, but you're not considered a Jew in the spiritual sense. You're considered a Christian. Now you can be a Jewish Christian. That's what you need to be if you are a Jew, a Jewish Christian. That's one who believes in Christ, that Christ finished the law and came in that way. So, after the church has been raptured, who is the church? Let's clarify that. Jew and Gentile alike, the church is all that believe in Jesus Christ. If in your heart, and that's where it is, in your heart, you believe in Jesus Christ and have said, God, I am a sinner. Forgive me of my sin through your Son that came on the cross and died for me. And it wiped away all sin. If I accept Him into me, then I'm clean from sin. And if you've done that, then you are no longer considered a Jew in the sense of Judaism. You are considered a Christian Jew, a Masonic Jew, a Christ-like Jew. And that is also for the Gentile. We are Christ-like Gentiles, and we have Him in our heart. We're living on this earth, and we're living for God. And we're looking for eternity. And what's going to happen to the eternity population? They're going to be with God forever. Now, as we read the Psalms, we see that they point to the great day of Jacob's trouble, and when the great tribulation is going to come, and God's going to say, come up hither, and the Antichrist is going to reveal himself in a form of a battle in Armageddon. And the Antichrist is going to be the leader of that group of people. And they're going to war against God's people. Well, if God said, come up hither, and all the saints have left, who does that leave? That leaves the children of Israel to war in that great battle. Those who have not accepted Christ and are on this earth are going to be the ones in that battle. So they're going to be in that great battle. And the matter at hand, whatever it might be, they apply every believer who reads them, and these have in the prophetic meaning that many of them point toward the coming Antichrist and Israel's coming problems. So you see that what God says in Psalm 14 through David in verse 3, in verse 2 and 3, the Lord looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if any did understand and seek God. That's who He's looking for. They are all gone aside. They are all together become filthy. There is none who does good, no, not one. What man classifies as good may be an abomination to the Lord. So if you classify yourself as good and you do not have Jesus in your heart, then you're misclassifying yourself. Yes, you could be a full-blooded Jew. Yes, you could be even from the line of Abraham. But if you're not following Jesus Christ, you're out of the will of God. And verse 6, you have shamed the counsel of the poor because the Lord is his refuge. Now the poor man that seeks the Lord is his refuge. But if you say to him, when Jesus came, it didn't mean anything. So we're still looking for the Messiah. We're still doing that. And in Jacob's trouble, they're going to believe that they have crossed a bridge that they haven't crossed. They're still in the great problem, and they still will enter into the 1,000-year reign having to seek the only answer, which will still be Jesus. During that 1,000-year reign, there's nothing changing as far as the way to heaven. The only way to heaven is through Jesus Christ and Him only, and will be as long as the earth stands. And so, the picture of Israel in her coming troubles is going to be the statement presented that Israel will have no help from any other nation in the world except the Lord. The Lord's going to be the only one that stands up for Israel in that day. Israel is still God's chosen people. In spite of the fact they rejected him. He's a merciful God. To the end. To the last second. He's a merciful God to the last second. And he will be. The second coming that we see when Israel will then be redeemed. Zechariah chapter 14. When you go to the book of Zechariah, which I've been over there now for an hour, and when you come to the end of that book of Zechariah, you're going to find out that God really in Zechariah tells the story of how this thing is going to be in the end. Remember now, Zechariah is a book of warnings. That's the book of warnings. Zechariah is. And it warns the people of what's going to happen and where it's going to happen. And if you get in the book of Zechariah, it will be a long study for you, because it is a book that is almost never ending. In Psalm 119, we find some lamentations of God's Word, His eternal Word. And His eternal Word was written in Psalm 119 specifically that you would listen to it and that you would adhere to it and that you would come around to it and to the place to where you need to be in it. And as I was just a few minutes ago in the book of Zechariah, in chapter 2 and verse 8, for thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory has he sent me unto the nation which spoiled you. For he who touched you touched the apple of his eye. We have a statement, the apple of your eye, for a man today. My apple in my eye today would be the Lord Jesus Christ. He is the apple of your eye. He is the pleasant one. Now the nation that spoiled Israel did so under the guidance of the Lord. You mean the Lord himself came against Israel? Yes. Because they rejected him. So he had to. Even though they were not aware of such a thing. They're not aware that God has come against them. Israel still is not aware that God has come against them, because of their rejection of the Savior that came, the Messiah. All the way back into Daniel chapter 10, where it proclaimed the sending of the angel Michael, Gabriel. The Medo-Persian Empire brought the downfall of the Grecian Empire. In other words, the Lord's hand was in all of the preceding things in the Old Testament. And he brought Israel through all of that. Israel still is the children of God. They still are the chosen of God. It's never changed. They were the chosen, and they are the chosen nation. And God's going to deal with them again in this great millennial reign, the 1,000-year reign on this earth. There will be 144,000 Jewish boys go into that brand new time. And they are going to procreate Israel and bring forth in 1,000 years a new nation of Israel. They will have a choice again to follow the God of heaven. And they will have a chance to be united. But the Bible said at the end of it, when that great slewfoot, the devil, is released, that he will take a great multitude of them, and they won't believe what's been the fact and the truth. And they will have to be cast in utter darkness forever and ever, in hell, fire, and brimstone. So you need to pay attention to this book. You need to get in this book and study it for the way it's written. It is written that you, Israel, may have salvation. Look at the last verse, verse 7 in this Psalm 14. Oh, that the salvation of Israel will come out of Zion when the Lord bring back the captivity of his people. Jacob shall rejoice, and Israel shall be glad. That's to you folks. That's to you Jewish folks. You can get on this side of that if you want to, by believing that Jesus Christ is the answer, and you'll be on this side of that, and you will be caught up and go to heaven. You won't have to go through Jacob's trouble, through that great tribulation that's coming in this world, that speaks of the second coming of Christ. You'll go up with him then, instead of going through that great tribulation. Many of you will end up in hell that wait. So don't wait, because it's imminent and it's coming. Well, our time is come and gone. We must get out of here now. We've overrode our time by a good 2 minutes. We'll see you next time. Right. Bye-bye.